Welcome back, everyone. It's Charlie, and there is bad news. Amazon just announced that they are canceling the Stargate reboot series that they've been working on behind the scenes for the past several months. A writer's room had assembled. They were in the middle of pre-production in the UK, so they were ramping up to actually start shooting episodes. Then to kick them while they're down, Amazon, instead of letting them retool their ideas for the current version of the series and then come back in the next couple of years with a new version, Amazon said, no, hard canceled. Everything here, everybody that's working on it, everyone is fired. This is done. No more. We're going to do something else with the franchise going forward, maybe in the next couple of years, but with completely different people working on it. All the people that had been working on this new Stargate reboot, not necessarily a reboot, more of like a continuation of the previous franchise on this new series, were people that worked on previous versions of the TV series like Stargate Atlantis or Stargate SG-1 or even Stargate Universe. When the bad news broke, the reason they gave is that it was too lore-heavy for brand new audiences, but then there was a bunch of pushback from the writers saying that this wasn't the case, and a little more investigating found that there were some actually bigger things going on at Amazon behind the scenes that actually caused the cancellation that we'll talk about. Right after the announcement leaked out, the Hollywood trades confirmed the news, and then people that were working on the actual series in the writer's room actually confirmed what was going on and posted their reactions to it, like what was really going on behind the scenes. Joseph Malazzi, who was writing on the project, and I think he was one of the producers on the project too, also ran Stargate Atlantis, and he started writing on the franchise during the SG-1 days, way back in the day. So he's been with Stargate since the very beginning. He reacted by saying, sadly it's true, Amazon has elected not to move forward with this new Stargate series. There's not much I can add beyond confirming what happened, maybe because of legal reasons why he can't get too deep into it, but I will say this. Creator Martin Gero, who is also a former Stargate writer from back during the Atlantis days, for over 2 years, ultimately crafting a show that offered a fresh jumping-on point for new viewers while deeply respecting existing canon. It was a series that had avoided the pitfalls of several modern remakes and reboots by fully embracing the core of its predecessors: action, adventure, exploration, wonder, heart, humor, and found family. And based on that creative vision, the new Stargate series was greenlit back in November of 2025. I did a whole video when that happened because it was a big announcement with Gate World and Dial the Gate and a couple of the people that were working on the series to announce the reboot.
But that a brand new audience can come in without having to have watched 350 episodes of an amazing show, that they can start with episode 1 of the new Stargate show, and then if they love it, then they can go back and watch everything else.
He goes on to say, as of today, that original vision is no more. We'll never get the opportunity to introduce you to that world and those characters, or reintroduce you and check in with some familiar faces from the past, like actors from Stargate Atlantis and SG-1 coming back to the series, or maybe Stargate Universe too. My heart breaks for those incredibly talented writers who worked tirelessly to bring this show to life. For Martin, who maintained an unwavering positive outlook throughout despite the challenges, and who always strove to make a show that would honor the fans while welcoming a new audience. And for the long-suffering Stargate fandom who has waited so long and came so close to getting the show they truly would have loved. Then when it was revealed one of the primary reasons why Amazon canceled the new Stargate series was because they felt like it wouldn't be friendly enough to new audiences because there's so much pre-existing Stargate that they were trying to do a continuation of with the new series. Malazzi also said, nope, sorry, gonna have to push back on this. We were ever mindful of creating a show that would have broad appeal. Then also posted a tweet asking Elon Musk to spend some of his billions of dollars to save the franchise. Ironically, this is what Jeff Bezos did when he was still head at Amazon. He saved The Expanse, big sci-fi series, after the Sci-Fi Network canceled it and gave it a couple more seasons. So apparently he's not a big Stargate fan, but he's also not at the company either, so he probably doesn't have as much influence over stuff like that. Amazon also spent over $500 million on the Rings of Power Lord of the Rings series that they're in the middle of winding down right now. They actually spent so much money to get the rights for that before they ever made the series that they basically have to do 5 series contractually, or it becomes an even bigger financial problem for them. So it's kind of an example of one of those series that's too big to fail, even if it does fail. So if you wonder why shows like Rings of Power get to happen, but Stargate does not get to happen, that's one of the reasons why. Then a little while later, Deadline posted an article that clarified some of the things that were happening behind the scenes at Amazon and why they canceled the series outright instead of trying to retool it with a slightly new version with the same people working on it. Their article reads, Stargate has become a high-profile, likely casualty of the regime change at Amazon MGM Studios. They were the group inside Amazon that were making it. They're the same people that are making the Masters of the Universe movie that I'm in the middle of doing videos for right now. It's literally coming out in theaters right now.
Sometimes you have to go, you have to go through the back door to get to where you want to go.
Also another example of like an old IP with an existing group of fans that they're trying to make friendly to new audiences, onboard a bunch of new audiences to the Masters of the Universe franchise. Very ironic that they would then turn their backs on Stargate while they turned towards Masters of the Universe. Very ironic that they would then turn their backs on Stargate while they turned towards Masters of the Universe. They go on to say the reboot of the popular MGM IP from Stargate veteran Martin Gero, which received a series order by Prime Video in November 2025, will not be going forward, Deadline has confirmed. The decision to pull the plug came late in the process. I hear the show had completed a 20-week writer's room and was in pre-production in the UK, meaning that they were about to start shooting episodes. It was explained with the new series vision and creative direction, which allegedly no longer aligned with Amazon's programming strategy. That's like the legalese corporate speak for why they canceled it. The differences apparently ran so deep that they required an outright axing, like outright canceling and getting rid of all the people that were working on, versus retooling the existing version of the project by giving notes to Gero, a veteran showrunner who had been signed to an overall deal by Amazon MGM Studios for the purpose of him spearheading the Stargate series. Ironically, the new Stargate was greenlit by Amazon MGM Studios head of television Peter Friedlander in one of his first pickup decisions after he joined the streamer in early October, but this series falls under the purview of one of Friedlander's top lieutenants, Brett Fettner, head of world building and genre series, who didn't start at Amazon until February of 2026, a little bit later. Then they get to the meat of what's actually going on here and like this regime change and what really happened to cancel the Stargate series. The two executives who had developed the Stargate series with Gero had championed it. Nick Pepper, formerly head of US SVOD and TV development and series, wholly owned, and Matt King, formerly head of tentpole genre and universe development, wholly owned, are both gone, both left the company. Basically, the people who helped get the Stargate series green-lit left the company, so new people were brought on and were in charge of it, and the new people that were brought on either weren't fans of Stargate in general, or they didn't want to take the risk because they were brand new if the series was going to fail, or they were worried that the old people would get the credit and the new people would not get the credit for it.
This is so exciting. This has been a very hard secret to keep for the last 18 months.
This is actually one of the leading causes for like really good ideas for TV shows, like things that will be really good getting canceled seemingly with no reason. Like, why would you cancel something if it's going to be a great series? Usually it's because the executive who was working on it left the company, left the studio, and a new executive came on, and the new executive isn't going to get any credit if the show is successful, and if it fails, they'll get all the blame for it and they'll get fired quickly after. So the new executive that comes on just doesn't want to take the risk at all. Probably the best term that you can use for stuff like this is studio politics. So if you wonder why the new Stargate reboot series got canceled, mostly because of studio politics. After the announcement, fans were asking Joseph Malazzi, because he was really active on Twitter reacting to all this, if they could just take it somewhere else. Like, could you just have some other company or some other studio develop the project? And he said, no, because Amazon MGM owns the Stargate IP now. They can do whatever they want to with it. So what's going to happen next with Stargate? Because Amazon said that they would still continue trying to do something with the franchise. This is what Deadline reports. The studio may revisit the IP, like do another Stargate, with another showrunner, possibly someone who does not have history with it and could give a fresh new perspective, I hear. Meanwhile, Gero, who had worked on the 3 previous Stargate series and created NBC's Blind Spot, will focus on developing new projects under his overall deal at Amazon MGM Studios, completely separate TV shows that have nothing to do with Stargate. So basically what Amazon is saying they're going to do is they're going to bring on new people who have never seen or never done any Stargate before, and it'll be a complete, like a full traditional reboot when they do a new Stargate series or new Stargate movie. You can all let me know in the comments how you feel about this, because it does feel like the Stargate people got shanked by Amazon. I would have really loved to see some of the classic actors come back and star in the new series. We just got some from Richard Dean Anderson, who said that he wasn't planning on coming back, but he's mostly been retired from like all TV, all movie appearances for a good long while now. So that's like no big surprise that he wasn't planning on coming back for the new series. But pretty much all the rest of the main actors from all the different TV series from SG-1, Atlantis, and Universe said that they would love to come back. Michael Shanks, Daniel Jackson himself, did a lot of interviews, a lot of reactions to the news too. He was also really pissed off to see that Amazon had canceled. Sounded like he would love to come back as Daniel Jackson. David Hewlett, who kind of does a Stargate podcast on his YouTube channel now, said he'd love to come back as Rodney McKay. Jason Momoa now feels like his star has only gotten bigger and bigger since Stargate. Stargate was basically like one of the first big series that got him started. It wasn't his very first TV series, but Atlantis was basically like his acting school.
You'll find it soon. This is going to be your last known location.
Oh, zing.
And even the man himself, Christopher Judge Teal'c, said that he would love to come back as well too. Like he's been blowing it up as Kratos in God of War recently. But now that Amazon said that they are going to do a full-on reboot, that basically means the clock is reset to zero. They're going to bring somebody on to do something completely fresh. So I would not expect to hear anything about new Stargate for like the next 2 to 3 years minimum. And like I said, ironically, Amazon is kind of in the middle of doing the exact same thing, trying to onboard a whole bunch of new fans to the Masters of the Universe IP, which used to be super niche. They're also in the middle of doing something similar with Henry Cavill's Warhammer series, and it kind of sounds like that's one of the other reasons why the Warhammer series is also taking so long for them to develop, because there have been so many executive changes in Amazon since they started to develop it. Hopefully Henry Cavill is having an easier time dealing with Amazon than the Stargate people are having. Everybody post all your reactions in the comments below and let me know what you want Amazon to do with the franchise if their only solution is to do a full-on reboot. Speaking of Henry Cavill in Warhammer, he is also in the live-action Voltron that Amazon also kind of stealth-made. They stealth-made a live-action Voltron movie, but they're not releasing it in theaters. They're just releasing it to Amazon, I think sometime early next year. They haven't announced an official date yet, but I'll do more videos about that when we learn more about it, because I am excited about live-action Voltron. I've already done a trailer video for his Warhammer series. Click here for that, and click here for all my new Masters of the Universe videos. Post-credit scene video coming in the next couple of days. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.